Genghis Khan, who belonged to a small clan, had killed 4 core people in the fire of revenge. In this fire of conquering the world, he also threw his own brother. It is recorded in the pages of history that he laid the foundation of the Mongolian Empire on a pile of dead bodies. The empire, which in its time extended from China to Ukraine. Genghis Khan's influence was so powerful that the place from where he left would become a graveyard. It is difficult to say with certainty at what place and how Genghis Khan died, whether someone killed him or whether he died a natural death. But it is said that some people found his dead body, and around 2,000 people were present at his funeral. Today, more than 700 years have passed, but no one has been able to find his body or his tomb. However, some people still call this a fabricated story. So friends, this was our today's video. The name Genghis Khan first appeared in front of people when in 1201, Genghis Khan started attacking every small tribe of Mongolia to increase his dominance. One of these tribes was Jamukha, who was one of the powerful enemies. It is said that once during a battle, an arrow suddenly came and touched Genghis Khan's neck and passed through it. As soon as that arrow touched his neck, it seemed as if Genghis Khan had seen his death passing before his eyes. But luckily, he survived and won the war. After his victory, he summoned the archer and offered him a place in his army. In this way, through one victory after another, he recruited skilled warriors into his ranks and built an army so strong that he rose from leading a small tribe to establishing the Mongolian Empire. And then one day, to expand his empire even further, he set his sights on the Tangut Empire, which was also commonly known as Western Xia. This region was primarily an agricultural community known for rice production. Genghis Khan thought that since his army was quite large, capturing this area would ensure a better food supply for his troops. The abundance of grain here not only supported the entire Mongol Empire, but also strengthened it economically. With a full plan in mind, Genghis Khan launched an attack on this place in 1205 AD. The people of the Tangut Empire were so powerful that they fought Genghis Khan for almost 5 years. In the end, Genghis Khan did win the war, but his army was severely wounded, and his top generals, who were intelligent, cunning, and brave, were all killed. Genghis Khan was left in such a state that he could no longer launch attacks on other countries. Although he had conquered the Tangut Empire, the fear of Genghis Khan among the people there had completely vanished, and the Tangut people began to reject his every command. One day, when Genghis Khan requested some troops from the Tangut people, they refused him, as they always did. This rejection humiliated him so deeply that he launched another attack on Western Xia, but this time not with the intent to rule over them, but to completely obliterate them. Everyone knew that Genghis Khan was a brutal ruler, but he was also incredibly wealthy, with an estimated fortune of around $120 trillion. Fueled by a fierce desire for vengeance, he launched a powerful assault on the Tangut Empire once again, cutting down every soldier in his path. His rage was so intense that he could see nothing beyond the bloodshed and destruction. But during this time, an arrow was rapidly approaching him. Genghis Khan was so deeply engaged in killing the Tangut Empire soldiers that he didn't even notice the arrow, and within seconds, it struck him directly in the kidney. Yet, the pain of the arrow was nothing in comparison to his thirst for revenge. So engulfed was he in the battle that he ignored the pain and pressed forward in his injured state. Fortunately, Genghis Khan and the Mongols won this battle, but this victory was short-lived as the wound began to damage his body from within. The infection from this wound grew so severe that he was eventually bedridden. The vengeance he harbored against the Tangut Empire ultimately led to his demise, as it's believed that he died from the infection caused by this injury. However, it wasn't just Genghis Khan who died. Around 2,000 more people would have to lose their lives alongside him. In his lifetime, Genghis Khan had written detailed instructions about how his last rites should be conducted. According to Mongol tradition, if a king wished for his burial site to remain secret, his people would go to any lengths to ensure no one knew its location. Genghis Khan had expressed this exact desire. So as his body was being transported back from the battlefield to his homeland, his soldiers killed every person, animal, or creature that witnessed the journey. Once they arrived in the kingdom, 2,000 people were summoned to his final rites. But this was no ordinary invitation. It was an invitation to death. Yes, you heard correctly. It was an invitation to death, as these people were called to be killed. To this day, researchers are still investigating who these people were and why they were killed. These 2,000 people were buried somewhere, but where exactly, and specifically where Genghis Khan was laid to rest, remains unknown. It's believed that his body was buried somewhere, and to ensure it would never be found, soldiers rode over the burial site with 1,000 horses, pressing the earth down until it appeared as normal ground. Afterward, the real massacre began. A squad of soldiers executed everyone who had attended Genghis Khan's final rites. Then that soldier was killed by a detachment of another army, and then by another detachment, and this continued until all those who knew the news of the tomb of Genghis Khan were killed. In this massacre, about 40,000 people were sacrificed in the name of Genghis Khan, which was earlier only 2,000, but the ratio of people kept increasing, and it increased so much that it reached 40,000 people. After killing these 40,000 people, where was someone buried? And today there is no person alive who knows anything about Genghis Khan or his grave. According to historians, there are two different stories about Genghis Khan's death. In fact, when Genghis Khan was advancing through the Tangut Empire, cutting down every soldier in his path, he suddenly saw a herd of horses coming towards him, which frightened him so much that he fell off his horse in panic and got injured. He was then taken to the camp on the battlefield, where he received treatment, but he had already sustained a fatal head injury. After that, the same events unfolded as described in the previous story. All the people and animals along the way were killed, and 2,000 people were summoned to die. Horses were run over his burial site, and then the massacre of those who knew the truth began again. As Genghis Khan, engulfed in the flames of revenge, marched forward, cutting down every soldier of the Tangut Empire, he had already destroyed more than 8 families of the Tangut Empire. Among those who remained were a prince and a princess. One night, in the midst of battle, Genghis Khan had a dream in which he saw 2 things, snow and blood. After waking, he asked an astrologer to interpret his dream. The astrologer told him that blood represented the prince, while snow represented the princess. And then what happened? The very next day, Genghis Khan killed the prince in battle and kidnapped the princess. And then as soon as Genghis stepped towards the princess and tried to remove the clothes lying on her chest, then suddenly the princess took out a dagger from her hair and attacked Genghis Khan's throat, after which Genghis Khan fell, and then the princess cut his private part. In this accident, Genghis Khan lost so much blood that he died at the same place, and to escape from the soldiers, the princess ran and jumped into the Yellow River flowing a short distance away, due to which she also died due to drowning. Then again, the same thing repeated, and the same massacre took place here too. But today, the mountain range in which he was buried comes under the UNESCO World Heritage Site, and that is why going there is not allowed, and that is why till date no one has been able to find his body. Could not find. Well, there is another story in Mongolia, like when the body of Genghis Khan was brought, then 1,000 guards took an oath to protect the soul of Genghis Khan according to them. If anyone came to know where his body was, and if he tried to dig up the body, the whole of Mongolia would be destroyed, although this does not seem to be true at all. Friends, which of these stories is true according to you? You can tell us by commenting. If you liked the video, then press like button, and for more such videos, subscribe our YouTube channel, The Depth of Truth, and press the bell icon. See you soon with a brand new video. Till then, bye!